Okay, so in this presentation, I'm going to go over how you can set up a database in SPSS. This is going to be a really simple demonstration. And what I'm going to actually do is take some data that I have in another, in an Excel spreadsheet that I need to move over here to SPSS. So you can see over here, let me move it over into the field completely, that I have information here in an Excel spreadsheet. So I have 4 variables I want to put in. One is age, grade, the pre-test handwriting score, and the post-test handwriting score are the variables that I want to put in. So this over here, the ID, that's just the ID number. In Excel, in order to put the names of the variables, you need to take up the first space, but we don't have to worry about that in SPSS. So in SPSS, we need to set up 4 variables: age, grade, pre-test handwriting score, and post-test handwriting score. So we're going to begin by looking at down here you'll see, here let me open up the screen a little more so you can see it. You'll see that it says data view or variable view at the bottom. So we want to look at variable view. And here's where we can start inputting information about the variables. So the first variable we want to put in is age. So we'll just go under the name and type in age. Type, for what we're doing, we're going to use numeric variables. For everything that we do in class, that's basically what we'll be using. So you don't need to really worry about these other things now. Now the width, this is just how many numbers are going to be in the column, so it can go up to 8 digits. That's fine. For decimal places, for whole numbers, I like to take this down to 0, so you don't get, for example, if we see somebody's 2 years old, that it says they're 2.00 years old. So I'm going to just change that to 0 there. And you'll see it change here. The label, I could just put age in here again, but I don't need to. I'm not going to put that in. We don't need to worry about values because of the kind of data that this is. So we're going to jump over here to measure. This is where we put in the kind of data it is. And we know that age is scale data. In SPSS, scale means the same as data that is interval or ratio. Interval and ratio data are called scale data. So we're going to pick that. For scale data, you don't need to assign values. We'll do that later. I'll explain about how that works later. And then that's all I really need to put in for my first variable. So my second variable, let me look over here, is grade from my Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to move that over into the field completely. So grade is my next one, so I'm going to type that in. And we're also going to choose that it's numeric, and we're going to do no decimal places so we don't get somebody's in 4.00 grade. We don't need to worry about values for this one either because the grade numbers are clear that 1 is first grade, 2 is second grade, etc. Now for the scale of measurement, this is going to be ordinal data because we can't say that the difference between first and second grade is the same as between second grade and third grade, so that makes it ordinal data. So we're going to choose that. Then let's look and see what our third is, pre-test handwriting score. So I'm going to type that in. You can't leave any spaces in the name of it, so I tend to just bunch it together, but you could use underscores or whatever you want to do to put that in. Again, we're going to choose number, and because these are also whole numbers, I'm going to put no decimal places in. Let's go to the kind of data that it is. These are scale scores because they're numerical scores that aren't based on judgments. They're like a score on a test. So we'll put that in as a scale measurement. And then the last one we have to do is post-test handwriting score. So I'll type that in. And that again is numeric, and we're going to go to whole numbers again, so no decimal places. And we'll come over here, and this is also scale data. So now we have the SPSS spreadsheet set up to accept the data from this spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do, this is my variable view. I'm going to go to my data view. Now if you didn't already have a spreadsheet with the data in, you'd have to go in and type in all the values here. But because I already have this information in this format, I'm just going to copy and save, or copy and paste the age, grade, handwriting, pretest and post-test columns. Just hit Command C, and I'm going to come over here to the first square and paste it in. It takes a second. Hello. Let me try that again. Maybe I didn't get the copy right here. Command C, or maybe I need to go up Edit Copy. Let's do that. Edit Copy. And then I'm going to go up to Edit on the top bar. You can't see that, but in the, let me move it up here a minute. So in the bar up here, oops, no, I moved that in the wrong place. In the bar up here, I'm choosing the Edit function, which you can't see on the recorder. I apologize for that. But this is the apple bar across the top where it says File, Edit. And I'm going to click on there and click on Paste. And then you can see that the data comes in, except somehow I pasted it into the wrong thing. So let's try that again. And go to, I'm going to make sure I'm in the right column and hit File, or excuse me, Edit, Paste. There we go. So then we have the data in, and this is now ready for running statistical operations.